Growing up in Southeast Texas in the 1930s, Ann Wright learned about being kind from her family.
My home was always open to strangers or people that needed help. 2 cousins lived with us, one of whom my dad put through college. With my own family, I tried to show the example that I had seen growing up.
Ann's son, Mark, grew up in Sunnyvale, California, and observed the family tradition.
I got this letter that said that Dad had invited a Korean family to move in to the basement where I normally live.
My husband was the instigator of probably more of these experiences than I was.
And that's the way my dad was. He was not a man of words. That was left to my mom. She sort of defined kindness for us, but my dad showed us.
So it was that in 2010, Mark came to his mother and proposed that they write a book about kindness, collecting stories taken from real-life submissions and rewriting them to present a portrait of people helping other people. The book is called Miracles of Kindness, and this is their story. And so Ann and Mark began to gather stories, using Craigslist and other internet sources primarily, reaching out to the recipients of acts of kindness, the folks who truly experience the miracle.
So we sent off query letters to a number of publishers, mainly in New York. We got a list from this website you could go to. And mostly we got rejections, but we did get 12 positive responses. And they asked for a book proposal, which we sent them. And mostly at that point they told us, thanks but no thanks. And if they had to point to a reason, it was that we didn't have a national platform. Me and Mom weren't well known.
Subsequent difficulties posting ads on Craigslist and other personal demands, like Ann's shoulder replacement surgery in August of 2012, brought the Miracles machinery grinding slowly but surely to a halt. Miracles of Kindness needed its own miracle. Almost on a whim, Mark took another shot at it, with the thought of resurrecting the project as a self-published e-book, a favorite source of reading pleasure for Ann. The possibility of making the book a Kickstarter project also intrigued them.
So in March of this year, I believe it was, I posted an ad on Craigslist. I think it was to Seattle. We began to attract notice again, and people were going to the website.
With the machinery back up and running, Ann and Mark have begun work on Miracles of Kindness with renewed energy. Their roles in the development and writing of the book, after 3 years of practice, are more clearly defined now than ever.
So my role on a daily basis is to mine for stories. So I do that, and once stories are found, I ship them off to Mom.
I love reading the stories and helping in the selection of ones we feel are appropriate.
So she sends the miracle-worthy stories back to me. I follow up with emails and phone calls perhaps to get the context of the story, to define the characters a little bit more, to really explore the whole miracle notion of it. Then I rewrite. It's usually a 1.5 to 2 page story, and we go from there.
Throughout the 3 years that Miracles of Kindness has been in development, Ann and Mark have come to understand the nature of the people who have submitted their stories and how much they value their memories of the event. They know there is a sanctity to the relationship with their story contributors, and they plan to honor that.
We always need stories. That's what we're going to be spending most of our time and energy on for the next 6 months, is making sure we get the very best stories for Miracles of Kindness, something that truly inspires the market, the audience, the readership that we seek.
Well, I think to see our names on a book would be kind of fun in a bookstore. I'm not hoping to get on Oprah, or of course she's gone, or Katie, or any other talk show, but just to know that people are reading what other people have written about kindness, and that maybe it can kind of be an epidemic of kindness.